Okay, we decided not to do rising signs, but instead do uh each tarot card. Tarot cards each have a meaning, but if you're an intuitive reader, you use your intuition over what the cards like generically mean. I guess that's the best way to put it. That's why anytime you watch a YouTube video with a tarot reader, you'll find that they have a different version of the cards. It's normal, and it doesn't make anybody right or wrong. It's like how you feel, it's the energy you're getting from like whoever you're reading for, and so therefore you're not wrong, right? Okay, so Lou and I are going to go through we're not going to be able to get through the entire deck in this one video, but we're going to go through the cards and give you our opinion on the cards, and maybe you'll learn something, and maybe you won't. So the first card,
doesn't matter, we're funny, so.
well, you're funny. um, so the first card is the Ace of Swords. It looks like this. um, oh, I forgot to tell you, remind me to tell you something about your 2023 tarot card for the year.
Okay.
I did yours. I just can't remember what it was, but I did take a screenshot of what it was. Sorry, that was just random. So when I pull the Ace of Swords, in most situations, I see this as an apology or a conversation that is healing or needs to be had, but not necessary. It's not a negative. I see it as a really positive card, but it's about communication. So what's your opinion on the Ace of Swords?
This is gonna be kind of a difficult video for me because I don't do tarot readings very often. I usually make you do them for me because you're so much better at like intuitive reading. So there's very few cards that I'm like super familiar with.
Okay.
And the Ace of Swords, I see it as like really big Aquarius energy.
Okay.
So like, but like the Aquarius part of you that is like kind of cold and standoffish, but it's like something like what you were saying, like the communication needs to be had, but it's, I see it as like it's
Not gonna go well.
it's not gonna like happen anytime soon because of somebody's like pride and ego.
Okay.
Like, not wanting to share that.
It's ironic that you said Aquarius, because look at, do you see this card, how it shines like that? What does that remind you of? The star. You see it in the back?
Oh.
Do you see the star in the background?
Yeah, kinda.
Is that fucked up? And the star is Aquarius, by the way. So.
Yeah, maybe I am intuitively reading. I just don't know it.
Perhaps. So Knight of Wands is the next one. So Kings are sort of like a more stable energy. Pages are really like, you like, it's almost like if somebody comes into your life, but
like
they don't.
Scrub.
Yeah, they don't serve like a huge purpose. Knights are somewhere in the middle. It could go in any direction. They're pretty good. Knights are all right, but if it's a Wands, it's not a stable situation. Meaning, they're passionate, they're fiery, they are a fire sign. They're Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. It's somebody coming towards you with a lot of passion, a lot of excitement, but the chances of them being like a long-term relationship is pretty low. They're just not, they're not that kind of energy.
That's very funny because I pull like myself in readings. When I show up in readings, I show up as the Queen of Wands.
Well, she's a little more stable than the Kings, but you're right. But she also tends to have an ego.
Okay, fuck you.
I'm just saying. So ironically, that was the next card, but I'm gonna skip over her for a second, and we're gonna go to. Do you have an opinion on the Knight of Wands before I?
The Knight of Wands, I actually really like. It's kind of like whenever I pull Knight of Wands in my readings, I get excited. It's like, ooh, adventure.
Okay.
Kinda.
Okay.
Like I don't have any problem with that card unless I'm pulling for like a love reading that I want to last. Because I'm like, fuck.
I know. Literally up until
out of here.
Like
real soon.
Like up until like a week ago, I pulled the Knight of Wands in every one of my readings, every fucking one of my readings until recently, and now I'm pulling the King of Pentacles every day. So I don't know. Go figure. All right. So the next card is the Magician, and to me, this is manifestation. This is when something that you've been like a goal that you have, but it doesn't have to be a goal like you're working really hard to save money or whatever. It's a goal that you have that you're just creating in your head. It's not necessarily something that you've been like working hard towards, but it's more like magic. It's more like it's like when you think of something like a chocolate bar and then somebody happens to come home with one for you, you know, that kind of thing. Just like this, like you just made it happen out of the blue. So how do you see the magician?
It depends on what kind of reading I'm doing.
Okay.
The times that I've pulled the magician, it hasn't really been super positive.
Okay.
Because I see it as somebody like manipulating some kind of situation.
Okay.
So I don't know. But like I still have like high hopes for the magician. Like I feel like someday I'll pull it and it'll be positive.
I like them. When I pull it, I always feel like, oh yeah, okay, what I'm manifesting is coming true.
I see it as like Gemini energy.
You.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying not to.
Granted, the Lovers is Gemini energy, and
I don't like that card.
And
I hate that card. I'm tired of seeing that card.
I'll just rip my skin off for you. It's fine. Strength. That's pretty easy. I think it's kind of bizarre. You know, I never noticed this before, that Strength and the Magician both have the Eternal 8 over their heads. I've never noticed this before, so this is kind of interesting. In the future, when I do a love reading, I will keep this in mind. And this is where intuition comes into play. Like here, I'm telling you right now. Now, the next time I get Strength mixed with it, I'm gonna go, oh look, these two look like soulmates. So, you know, it's kind of cool how that works. So Strength, obvious, is strength. That's it. Like you're going through a difficult time. You need, you know, some boost of confidence, like drive to keep pushing through, something like that. And that's what Strength is. It's also the sign of Leo. So, like for instance, if I was like telling you that you are entering a relationship and you want to know what sign it could be, or heavy, like what's heavy in their chart, and I was to pull Strength, I would be like, oh, it's probably a Leo, or has a lot of Leo in their chart. So it's also the number 8 tarot, which is funny because of the 8 over the head. So any opinion?
I like Strength card. I pull it too often, obviously.
Don't be fucking with them Leos.
Oh, I can't help it. I love Leos. I just love them.
I get it. Leos are pretty great. I can't say anything.
I think that my opinion on the Strength card has changed quite a bit just because of like the Leo
situation.
Well, just like how many Leos pull out in my tarot readings.
Right.
So, but the art on Into the Woods tarot deck, they have like a really cool kind of view on that card.
Okay.
And it's basically like the card itself, like she looks like really peaceful, and like it's like basically like the mental strength of it. She's also sitting with a snake, and it reminds me of the High Priestess.
Okay, I don't remember. I'm gonna have to look back. I don't remember what it looks like.
It's very cool. It's kind of, it'll change your opinion on it for sure. It's kind of like, I don't know, I view it as kind of like mental strength.
Okay.
And like Leo. I don't really have a super strong opinion on the card. Whenever I pull it in for like a love reading, I go, fuck, no. And then if I pull it in like a career reading, I go, fuck yeah. You know?
Yeah, but it's sort of like each deck is different too. Like when I read my before, read with my before tarot, I get a completely different reading than when I'm using this basic deck or like what have you.
Yeah.
So you do pick up on subtle things about the cards that one deck versus the other. So that's another thing, is like if your decks are all different, each time you use them. I typically use the same 3 decks when I do readings for other people though, because I don't like to
I feel like when you are a tarot reader though, you also kind of know which deck to use for what reason.
You do. You're compelled to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. It's really that is true.
And like personal reads. Like I used to do readings for this girl like every single day. Like I was friends with her and she would ask for like readings like sometimes even like twice a day.
Uh-huh.
And I would only use this one deck for her because it was so like filled with her energy. And I felt like the deck was super like emotional. Does that make sense? And she was super emotional. So that was like the deck that I used for her.
Okay. You have to help me separate these afterwards because they're pulling out my head.
I probably will not have time, but
Well, we can do it tomorrow. I have them like conditioned right now. That's why my hair looks really grubby right now. I have conditioner in it. Anyway, okay, so the Six of Wands. This is my favorite card. Everybody knows this. Six of Wands is when you are moving forward in life in the direction you should be going in. Like you're succeeding at something. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be, romantic. It could be work related. Friggin' spirituality, anything. But you are like you're marching forward exactly the way you should be. So, do you have an opinion on the Six of Wands? Did I say swords or wands? I don't know.
I don't really have an opinion on that card. I haven't pulled it enough.
Okay.
I don't know much about it.
Okay.
Clearly, I'm not on the right path.
Okay. All right. Moving on then. I don't want to do that one yet. Well, we can do the moon. The moon is always fun. This is water sign. It can be Cancer, Pisces. It's usually seen as Cancer or Pisces. It's not typically seen as Scorpio. Yeah, it's like rarely talked about being Scorpio, but
I see it quite a bit as Scorpio.
Water in the cards always it means emotion. So it can be illuminating a path, but it's usually something being hidden from you, and that's what the moon. Not always. I guess it depends on the read, but 9 out of 10 times I see it as something's being hidden from your view, and you need to figure out what that is, and it can be positive or negative, obviously. Do you have an opinion on the moon?
Whenever I pull the moon, I get upset. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I thought we were over this.
Yeah.
But we aren't.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I kind of like, the moon is like Scorpio energy to me.
Okay.
Because I feel like Scorpios, like the stereotypic Scorpio, not like any of the Scorpios I've met, are very like secretive.
Right.
And so like that's just how it resonates with me. I'm like, oh, secrets, Scorpio.
Well, since we're on that like shitstorm, we'll do Seven of Cups because that's a shitstorm,
Wait, let me see the Seven of Cups. Oh god.
Yeah. Whenever I pull the Seven of Cups, I'm going to be honest with you. Unless you're looking for a new career path, this card fucks my life up. I don't like this card. What this says to me is your person or you have a lot more options than what you think. So if I'm doing a love reading for you and I pull the Seven of Cups, I'm like, which one of you has all these options? Because it's clearly one of you, right? I just don't like this card. I'm not a fan. So, your opinion?
In all of my love readings, the options are usually my options. So I don't really know.
Okay.
I don't really have like a super strong opinion on that card. The only times I ever pull it is like when something in my love life is falling apart. And at that point, I don't really care anyways. So.
Okay. I'm trying to look through the cards so we can get a few more interesting ones because I don't want to like make this too boring. Oh, Death. Death is a great one. Death is a great one. I love it. You don't love the Death card? I have it tattooed to me. I love it so much. Death is Scorpio energy. Who doesn't love Scorpios? And
A lot of people actually.
I don't know. Who the fuck doesn't love Scorpios? They're so great. So, it's change or death. That's it. Like if you're asking me about your health and I pull Death, you're probably in bad health.
Really?
But if you're
What would make you say that?
but if you're asking me about your life, I'm gonna tell you things are gonna change, and they're gonna change pretty drastically. When I pull Death, it's never like, oh yeah, I changed
the way I go home at night.
Right. I got a new bike. No, it's a pretty drastic change. It's it's like my car blew up and now I got a new one. So I do like Death. That is a good card. As long as you like change. It's the Moldavite of cards. That's it.
Is it okay to like ingest hyaluronic acid?
Yeah.
Because I have a vitamin that has hyaluronic acid.
Yeah, it is. By the way, speaking of that, what was I going to tell you? There was something I was just going to... What were we just talking about?
It's so like...
Oh, Moldavite. I muscle tested against it yesterday, by the way.
Stop wearing it for
I did, but like I was a little sad. You guys know I love my Tektites. It makes me sad when I can't have them. And I can't find the sandstone, Libyan sandstone one either. But that one was programmed for a soulmate, so it was probably for the best anyway.
I absolutely love black tourmaline, but it stabs me every time I try to put it in my bra.
Ooh.
So I don't wear it.
Ooh.
Yeah. I need
Okay.
to get like a ring for it.
Okay, so this one has so many different, it literally is per reading for me. I don't have like a complete like description of this card for you because it could mean so many different things. So this is the Devil. This is Capricorn energy. The Devil could be mental ties to like things you can't let go. The Devil can be an addiction. The Devil can be a toxic relationship. There's just so many different things that the Devil can stand for. It really, you have to look at the entire reading to know what it's going to be about. And so I can't really get, other than that, I can't give an opinion on it. Do you have any?
For the Devil, I recently have not pulled it. Any times that I pull it, it's like the obsession thing.
Yeah.
Like for me, because I don't really like, it's always like obsession, and I take it as a sign of like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be so much fun. It's never actually fun. It's torturous.
All right, we'll do one more and then we'll do a part 2. So this is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles, it depends on the read. Once again, if we're talking about your career and you pull the Ten of Pentacles, that's fantastic. You're probably getting a raise. You're probably like getting the dream job, like that sort of situation. If you're pulling it for a love reading, you are in an excellent romantic relationship. It's probably going to be long lasting. If we're pulling it for well, I guess that's really the only two things I could say because I can't think of another read that you would manifest. Yeah, all your manifestations are coming true, like anything like that. So the Ten of Pentacles is really good. It depends on what deck I use as to like how I really use it though. Because like, so for instance, in this one, it's a pretty typical looking Ten of Pentacles. I just see this one is more like generic, but one of my favorite decks that I use all the time, there is a woman with a baby and a man with a child. So typically when I do that one, I feel like those people are probably going to else have a really long lasting relationship, or they're going to end up married with children. And Lou, do you have anything to add to this?
For the Ten of Pentacles, in certain decks, like my Nightmare Before Christmas deck, it's a Christmas tree, and I look at it as like the universe gifting you like what you've been asking for, basically.
That's pretty cool.
That I really love that card, like all across the board. I also feel like with the Ten of Pentacles, in most readings for me, if like in like your most generic like decks, it's kind of like pentacles are just placed over a picture.
Right.
Like it doesn't look like they're like made like into the picture, if that makes sense. Like if you look at your other pentacles like cards,
oh,
like
I get
like they're like holding a pentacle,
right? They're
like
overlapping.
Kind of like, yeah. But with the Ten of Pentacles in your like generic deck, it's just like sitting on top of the picture, like on top of the art. And I feel like that's kind of like the way that I see it is kind of like you're not gonna see like the blessings you're about to get.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's interesting.
But across the board, I think it's a good card.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do a part 2 so we don't drive everyone crazy.